Here in the Hyundai Texans Radio Studio with Special Teams Coordinator Frank Ross. Coach, how's it going? Great to see you.
Great to see you. Week 1. You know how I'm feeling. I'm ready.
Week 1.
I feel good.
And let's start where the real action is. Kickoff returns, because you know we're semi-obsessed with this, Coach, with the touchback at the 35-yard line. We're going to see the ball in play. We did in the preseason. What did you learn from seeing the kickoff in the preseason with the touchback to the 35 and the returns that might ensue?
Yeah, I think it's on both sides. There was a lot, not, I would say, new, because we had versions of it last year, but the importance of both returners being able to not only handle the ball, because before you had a little bit more tell on where kickers were kicking it. Now everybody knows the ball has to go in play more frequently than not. It doesn't mean every team will, but we're now going to be placing it more randomly and sporadically. So both returners need to be able to handle the ball, as well as if you don't have the ball, you got to be a good blocker.
Yep. Right.
So we couldn't just have one blocker and one ball handler and then carry out our roles from there. So from us, personnel, who can do that, who can do it at a winning level. And then in coverage, what we learned was, hey, that hang time does not matter. So can we eliminate hang time, essentially, so we can cover faster? Can you get the ball on the ground? And I think you saw that a ton more this preseason across the league. Ourselves, we had games where the ball was getting to the ground, whether we are returning the ball or kicking the ball. So I think those are the things that are really going to start to, hey, that's the new norm. And can we maximize how to weaponize it and how to play safe with it?
You played a number of sports growing up, baseball being one of those.
Of course.
I would imagine that guys you have back there, you want them to have at least a little bit of baseball now in their system, because they're fielding short hops, ground balls. I mean,
were you in the meeting?
No, I wasn't. I wasn't actually. But my dad and I have theories about this. Like, I have theories about, I got a lot of different theories. Like in victory formation, right? When you're in victory formation, why don't you put a receiver back there as a safety, right?
Best tackler.
Well, why don't you put your best tackler back there?
Yeah.
See, I got theory.
We're already on it.
My dad's theory was always that in the return game, he wanted somebody that had played baseball, because when that ball starts bouncing around back there, we know that thing isn't round. But if you have somebody that's played shortstop or has played, in the infield, you have that opportunity to field those balls a little bit easier and get going a lot faster.
Man, I'm telling you, I think you're in my special teams meetings, because I've used too many times the analogy, hey, as a shortstop, we're almost creeping into the pitch. So your feet are hot. Right. Okay, we're talking about cutoff angles. So we say, hey, with the crack of the bat, you got to get a good jump on the ball. That's outfielder speed.
Yes.
So, that's extremely accurate. You answered the question essentially in yourself. Yeah. It's something like, how fast can we get that ball and dictate it versus allow it to dictate us? And, man, is that going to be at a premium? It's not going to be perfect every time across. Like you said it. It isn't a round ball. Right. It takes, those wicked and nasty kicks and hops because of that. So if we can stop that thing, smother it, and get it out of the air and then get going, that's a priority in itself.
Yep. How difficult the conditions at SoFi. It's a unique environment, unique-looking stadium. You got to get ready for all that, right?
Yeah. I don't know about the LA Stadium. It seems a little bit like an entertainment venue, not a football field. But, we'll put it down wherever it is, we're going to kick it,
Right.
Let's go.
But when you're doing pregame warm-ups, you need to get used to the background so you can find the ball in the air, whatever the case may be, right?
Yeah. We're nice and everything's symmetrical here in NRG. Yeah. It's just a constant. Right. It's all balanced. There's going to be different, and there's like wind in there. Mm-hmm. It's not a full enclosed dome. So
it's like a canopy, sort of.
Yeah, it's a canopy, if you will. I'm not the architecture speak on that, but I would say you're going to feel a little breeze if it's blowing, the wind's blowing that day. So we definitely have to get out there and, nothing different than we're used to. We play outside all the time, and whatever it is, we'll be ready to adjust. Our specialists are really in tune with that stuff.
And it's quote-unquote an outside game. So if we get some sort of storm rolling in,
oh gosh,
we got to take a 30-minute break, because it's technically an outdoor stadium, but we'll
play by ear.
Yeah,
anything they ask of us, we're ready to play.
No, that's exactly right. You've got both spectrums, Coach, in a kicker in Kaimi Fairbairn, who has done everything, seen everything seemingly, and then you've got a long snapper in Austin Brinkman, who I don't know if Austin has started or played in a regular season NFL game. Those two being together, is it kind of good for Austin to have Kaimi to kind of, hey man, it's your first time, calm down, we're good? likewise, Kaimi having a young guy that can fire it back there to Tommy when he's kicking extra points, you feel confident in that. How do you feel about those two kind of on different ends of the spectrum starting the season?
Yeah, and every year is going to be different. You deal with a long-time veteran, and then rookies come in. But, it's a young man's game. Rookies come in every year, and they got to perform and play. It is a critical role, specialist. There's only one of them at each position, so it's magnified. But I'm very proud. Like, we haven't played a snap yet, and we know with every single young player that steps on the field, they have to grow. And we don't want growing pains, but you want growing progress.
Right.
And so, to me, Tommy Townsend and Kaimi Fairbairn have done an outstanding job of setting the table and leading for our specialist room with Austin. And for that guy to come in here, work like he does, no BS, yes sir, no sir, doesn't say anything, but he just goes to work. So to me, like, we'll find out where Brink is at, but I'll just work with that any day. Guy who wants to do it the right way. And to me, that gives you a chance to be successful. So excited, man. He should be excited working with such experienced veterans of Emi and Tommy and guys that know how to do it, know what they want, and have instructed and encouraged and grown as a group together. Yeah, I think we have a chance if those guys go out there and do just as you said.
Yep. For both Tommy and Emi, how hard is it to simulate pressure in practice, whether it be physical pressure or game situation pressure?
Yeah, I think it's very hard to simulate because there's no bodies falling on the ground and the rush isn't live, if you will. If you're practicing punt protection and we bust a punt protection in practice, the guy doesn't come and rush and take the ball off the foot, like you would in a game, right? So for me, and I think if you ever ask one of those guys, like, it is an internal game. Those guys are pros at the mental performance side of how they dial in and compete on every single rep and every single kick of practice. That way, when you step on the field and it's a game winner, you've done it every time you've taken a kick. So that amount in practice, so that amount of mental focus and internalized self-created pressure, all that other stuff, their job is to focus on that pigskin in front of them and kick it or punt it or catch it and set it down. Like, they have to have some version of, don't want to call it tunnel vision, but narrowed focus.
Coach, each week we ask Nick Casario, hey, give us a scouting report of what the Rams have, whatever team we're playing, offense, defense, and he always gets in special teams. You talk about Chase Blackburn, being a special teams coach, played in the league for a long time. What's your scouting report on the Rams special teams for this week?
Yeah, Chase is an unbelievable coach. Admiration for him for a number of reasons. But first, when you take over a program, when he went to the Rams, when you take that over and it's a completely new roster, they've turned the back end of the roster enormously, and then you're using wide receivers in coverage. Both of their gunners are wide receivers. Yeah. You're using 3 rookie specialists at different points. Yeah. Snapper, they're all in year 2 or 3. Yeah. So when he gets there, he's got rookies. And to take that, a simplistic approach, maybe they're less or more talented in years past. They're pretty good right now. Less or more talented in years past, and make it functional, competitive, and limit any unnecessary risk. That's a hell of a job. Yeah. He coaches the way he played, which is, it ain't going to be pretty, but it's going to be nasty. It's going to be complete. It's going to be physical, and it shows. So to this year's players, like I had already alluded to, the 2 gunners, one's the Texas kid Whittington, Xavier Smith, both of them are returners and gunners, blockers. Their specialist, Ethan Evans, is one of their captains. He can hammer the ball the length of the football field as a punter. He also is a kickoff guy for them. They've got a couple of real special teams linebackers, Spates. He hasn't played last year, but last time we played them at home, Troy Reeder, he's a bull. Yep. They got an undrafted rookie making the team in Dolak from Buffalo. So all these guys, to me, are Chase Blackburn reincarnated playing football. Yep. And when you go against that, you know you're going to get every single time focused, intentional, best effort, whether it's the most exotic scheme or simplistic scheme, they're going to do things the right way. So for us, we need to make sure that we are sound. We match that intensity and physicality because they limit return yards. I think they're one of 4 teams not to allow a 20-yard punt return. So and that's not with perfect coverage across the board, but that's holistically they do it together. Right. So for us, we have to make sure that we're winning our one-on-one matchups and playing sound ourselves.
Great stuff, Coach. Thanks a lot. Good luck to you.
Thank you. Good to see you guys. Let's go. Week 1.
Let's go.